four young boys embark on a journey to attend a concert led by the greatest rock and roll band of all time, Kiss, in Detroit Rock City. This is today's review. A very fun movie, and this is an on-demand review. This request comes from naming this channel was difficult. Thank you very much for your recommendation. And basically, I mean, it's just as the premise is, four kids, they're rock and roll fans, stoner kind of high school kids. They need to get to the Kiss concert because they've lost their tickets. They're one of the group's super religious mom has burned their tickets, and they need to get to that concert because it's going to be the defining moment of their entire life. So it's basically that. So, I mean, you can't really talk about this movie, of course, without talking about Kiss a little bit first, the indirect subject of the movie. A great rock and roll band. I mean, really, they have their place in rock history, really, among definitely having some good tunes. Among the best showmans of rock and roll, like among, like, you know, Alice Cooper, Ozzy Osbourne, that kind of breed, where arguably the shows they put on, the concerts they bring on, are better than the music itself. So I do have a tremendous amount of respect for Kiss and for Gene Simmons, and having built this whole empire, and actually even producing this movie, having a lot of say in it, of course. So definitely they have their place, and again, I think they have some pretty good tunes. I have a few of their records in my collection, so if I could show off really, really quickly some of my Kiss LPs, I have, of course, Dynasty, featuring, you know, one of their best known songs, I Was Made for Loving You. I was made for loving you, baby, you were made for loving me. Pretty good album. And Creatures of the Night, another one. I forget what's on this one. Rock and Roll Hell, that's a good one. Killer, War Machine. And if you're gonna have any Kiss albums, you gotta have the live albums. I don't have a live, but I have a live 2 here. And look at this, Gene Simmons with fucking blood gushing out of his mouth. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fucking rock and roll. And I do have Ace Frehley too. I don't know how I got that, but yeah, whatever. But anyway, Kiss, pretty good band, and of course a good subject for this kind of movie. And creating this trip back in time, basically, it really, one thing it really does, it has a great opening to the movie, of course. The mother, Lynn Shay, who's brilliant in the movie. I love Lynn Shay. She's playing the overprotective mother of one of the kids, and she's sitting down to end her night, and she has a glass of wine. She's gonna put on what, like the Carpenters or something like that, and she just can't wait. And then the kid who has to hide the Kiss music, he put in one of those records, so she puts it in. She goes insane, and, you know, drags him out and said, "You can't listen to Kiss. You know what Kiss stands for? Knights in Satan's Service." So she hates Kiss and joins, like, protest groups and shit like that. But then they show the album, the record, in the garbage, but then they cut to the opening credits, basically, and it absolutely brings you back in time, creates this atmosphere of a point in rock history in the 70s where, yeah, Kiss was like this huge band, and they did kind of appeal to kids because they had, like, Kiss action figures, they had Kiss comic books, and the music and the concerts, all that shit, where they had become this phenomenon due to, you know, Gene Simmons's pretty smart marketing decisions, but at the same time, the parents who are against it and thinking rock and roll is the devil, which I guess you're always going to get, even to this day. There are parent groups who think rock and roll is the devil. Meanwhile, rock and roll is dead, man. But we can relive it through the past in this movie. And I mean, what I like about the movie, basically, is that it really does, it shows this kind of atmosphere. It shows this point in time where it was kind of like rock versus disco, and you'd see, like, all the glammed up disco queens and disco dudes who all look like John Travolta from Saturday Night Fever. Meanwhile, like, the rock kids look a little, you know, grungier, dirtier, longer hair, shit like that. And how it is, like, this kind of clash, and, like, they even, like, call, like, the disco girls Stellas, right? Like, Stella! Stay away from them bitches. So I like that, and I mean the movie is it's fun, right? So it's not one of those movies like you kind of like get this idea in your head like every movie like about either the 60s or 70s and like rock and roll and youth and stuff like that. It just has to be this coming of age movie, like with like Almost Famous, with like Dazed and Confused. This I wouldn't really call coming of age. It's just a fun. It's a road movie, is what it is, and I think it's spectacular. There's some great scenes in the movie, like kind of like a Prison Break, where the kid is brought into church and the evil priest played by Joe Flaherty, they come up with a plan to get him out of there. They put like mushrooms on the pizza. Like Edward Furlong, he's sort of the leader of the group. I think he's the lead singer of their band, and the priest goes nuts and they get him out. Very funny scene. And they get into clashes with the disco people, and they see the Hitchhiking Girl, Natasha Lyonne, of course, where they're like, should we pick her up? Like, it could be dangerous. I've seen so many horror movies that start out with a girl walking by the side of the road. And the other guy's like, yeah, but I've seen some porno movies that start that way too, man. It's pretty funny. So it's stuff like that. It's just really funny. It can be pretty crude. It's an R-rated movie. Lots of naughty language. Lots of funny, off the wall kind of sequences. Like there's a whole sequence with Edward Furlong, him having to enter a strip show to an amateur strip show to win some money, to get some money from a scalp, or to get some tickets from a scalper, and all that funny stuff. And you see him like projectile vomiting after drinking too much, and getting it on with this MILF lady, and they all have their own little adventures. Like he's doing that. The other kids. Getting in through the back of the concert with all the roadies. The other guy's trying to get tickets from this little kid. Like, so he goes into the convenience store. He sees this kid with Kiss makeup. He's like, yeah, he must be attending the concert. So he tries to shake him down, but he has an older brother, and he turns out to be this like little pipsqueak brat. He actually kind of looks like Dag Fark or Dag Fairch or whatever you call him from Halloween. From Rob Zombie's Halloween, obviously. He kind of looks like that kid, but obviously it can't be the same kid because this movie came out like a couple of years before Halloween. But still, it reminds me of him, so I instantly don't like him. So that's a fun side plot. And of course, the other kid who gets caught by his mother, but then runs into his high school crush, played by Melanie Linsky, of course, from 2.5 Men, and like she's like super younger in this movie, but like she's like instantly recognizable, and like I could just tell, is that her? Yeah, that's her, man. It must be the Semitic good looks. But there's a whole subplot there with him getting it on in the confession booth, and the priest who wants to hear his confession is kind of like a pervert. He's like, don't you have anything more juicy to tell me, kid, besides you listen to Kiss? Whatever. Of course, it all amounts to them attending the Kiss concert, and it's awesome. And there's like a great shot. Like I think they're pretty smart with the movie where they don't like overindulge in the Kiss concert. It's actually a very quick kind of sequence of maybe like 2-3 minutes tops, because by then the movie's over. So it just shows though how awesome it is, and you see a point of view shot like from the inside of Gene Simmons' mouth where like the tongue is coming out. I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean that's it. That's the awesome Kiss concert that they attend, and that's fucking awesome for them. Cool kids having a fun time. So I think it's a fun movie. I think it's very enjoyable. I think the soundtrack is great. And another smart thing they do, they don't overindulge in the Kiss songs as well. Like they have other songs from that era, the 70s rock era. So great soundtrack to this movie actually. But it's not like super Kiss focused, which I think it would get obnoxious if they did that. So I think that was a smart move. I think it's very funny, and God, I'd love to see a sequel to this movie. I really would. Like I'd love to see these 4 kids. Like let's say it's this movie came out in I think 2000, 2001, or maybe 1999, somewhere around there. I'll figure it out. But I'd love to see a movie. This is now 20 years ago, so. Or 15, 20 years ago. Well, let's say a sequel takes place in like the mid 90s. They're all middle aged now, and there's a new Kiss concert. Like, yeah, let's recapture the energy. Let's recapture the magic of that night. I think that'd be a great movie. I really would. And come on, Edward Edward Furlong's not doing anything. None of the cast is doing anything. There's one kid from Independence Day, that kid, and another kid who's in other stuff, maybe. I don't know, but that's another thing. I would have liked to see more cameos in the movie. I mean, of course, they have Kiss, but there's a lot of opportunities for cameos, like with the Scalper. Unless he's a known actor and I just don't know him, or like the other priest, like Joe Flaherty, very good, but the other priest, just some so-and-so actor. Ron Jeremy, the porn star, he's in the movie, so he's like the biggest cameo of the movie, and it's like so strange that he's in it, but whatever. Detroit Rock City, it's an awesome movie, underrated, I think. Not a lot of people kind of bring this up as, fun road movies, rock and roll tribute kind of things, but I really enjoyed it watching it again recently. I hadn't seen it in such a long time, so it was great to revisit it. So thank you very much. Naming this channel was difficult for recommending this. Let me revisit this fun movie. So that's my review, Detroit Rock City. If you have a movie you want me to review, comment below. I want to review it. I want to check it out. An on-demand review. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Visit dare237.com. And until next time, rock on!